All right, so we should be nearing the end of the week about Thursday, Friday time frame. Maybe even Monday if you're to that point. If you're not there, if it's Thursday, Friday, and you're not here, and you're doing this on Monday, that's perfectly fine. Okay, you can even do this over the weekend, but make sure that this stuff gets done. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you, Mrs. Henderson. All right. So, like I said in the last video that you just watched, you need to have out this textbook. All right. And you need to turn to page 414. 414. And it's going to say the stuff we've been learning on. That looks just like this. Are you here yet? Oh, wait. Okay. 414. It has flowers. Be good. Okie dokie. Now, the first thing you want to do, what I like to have all of you guys do when we use our textbooks, because, you know, we have packets. Yay for packets. Is I want you to look at the first couple of pages. And the first couple of pages give you a little bit of information and some background on exactly what we're doing. Okay? So we're going to look, we see our sunflowers. Sunflowers capture light energy and change it into chemical energy, but people need to eat to get the energy. So the flower gets its energy, but we have to eat to get our energy. Because if we don't eat, anybody ever like skip a meal and then you feel really tired? Like you missed breakfast and like by the time lunch gets here, you're hungry and then you're just like, I have no energy. That's why, because you didn't eat. Food is fuel, especially when you're growing. All right, so I'm going to look on page 415. And it says, engage your brain. So let's engage our little brains. I mean, why not, right? We're in school for a reason. Okay, so it says number 1, predict. So we're going to predict what's going to happen. Check T or F to show whether you think each of the following statements is true or false. Okay, so all living things must eat other living things for food. Okay, the next one. Plants can make their own food. True or false? Plants don't need oxygen, only carbon dioxide. Now, don't go flipping through trying to find these. I want you to put your answer first, okay? Don't flip through yet. Stay right here on this page. I can see some of you. I already know what some of you are up to. You're looking. I know what you're up to. Don't even play like that. No. Okay. Animals eat plants or other animals that eat plants. That is a tongue twister. I will be excited if some of you can say that 5 times fast. Yeah. Okay, and the last one on our true or false says, many living things need oxygen to release energy from food. Okay, true or false? All right. So now that that's over, we're going to go over to the next part, and it says infer. We know what infer means, right? Please tell me. Y'all know what that means? Okay, good. I'm glad. Look at the photo. Oh, poor plant. They overwatered it. I can tell you what's wrong with it. Huh? Look at the photo and describe the differences between the two plants. What do you think caused these differences? I kind of just gave it away by accident, and you guys can use that if you want to go back and catch what I said there, because I looked at it. But there's various other things that could have happened to these two plants. So you look at the little green plant and the little yellow plant. What's happened? Why is one yellow? Why is one green? Why is one taller than the other? Why? I'm not asking you to look for the book. I'm not asking you. You can't go to Google and ask. Like, that's not going to work. Just give me like 2 sentences of what you think happens here. Okay? And then we're going to jump down to active reading. Number 3. Synthesize. We know what that means, right? We do? Okay, good. I need to make sure. I got to check on you guys. Sometimes you don't know your vocab words because you just, like, you don't pay attention. That's some of you. It's a small percent, like this much. Not like this much, but this much of you don't pay attention sometimes. So I got to watch you. Okay. You can often define an unknown word if you know the meaning of its parts. Aha. Use the word parts and the sentence below to make an educated guess about the meaning of chlorophyll. Well, at this point, we should already know what chlorophyll means, right? Fingers crossed. But if you don't, let's go ahead and break this word down. Word part, chloro, meaning green. Second word part, phyll. That's P-H-Y-L-L, meaning leaf. So green leaf. Chlorophyll, chlora, green, phyll, leaf. Chlorophyll, green leaf. Makes sense? Yeah, I think that's kind of cute. I like that because chloroplast is green. So we know the word chlora means green. I think we should write that. We should circle that. Let's circle that. Where is a pen? I have my trusty green pen, and I'm going to circle chlora and green in my green pen. Okay? Because most leaves are green, and then when they lose their life, they turn. What color do they turn? Sorry, what? Did you say orange and brown? Sometimes red? Because you're right. If you chose those, you were right. Now, if you said something like purple, wait, no, I can't say that because I do have a plant that is purple. We'll talk about those color plants later in class. All right, so it says chlorophyll is a pigment that captures light energy, chlorophyll. So what I want you to do down there is I just want you to write a little sentence. Just write your little definition of chlorophyll. Can you do that for me? Even if you have to use Google at this point you should know what it means. All right. So these are your new vocab terms. So remember how I told you guys that you had about 12 new words that you guys didn't know? Well, here's 3. Photosynthesis. Oh, check. Wait, we figured that one out. Cellular respiration. Oh, we didn't know that one either, but hopefully by now we know what it means. Right? Check it off. Okay, good. And then chlorophyll. We just learned what that one was. We broke down the word, and we know that chlorophyll, chlora, means green. Phyll means leaf. Okay. So 4 says apply. We know how to apply things. As you learn the definition of each vocabulary term in this lesson, write your own definition or make a sketch. Ooh, that sounds like fun. For my little artsy ones out there who like to doodle, make me some sketches. Mark up your book. So if you find one of these and you have a really cute little doodle on the side, doodle it. And be like, this is what that means. I will be so happy. Okay, I'm turning the page. I'm on 416. 416. It says, energize. Ooh, look at all the people running in that field. It looks hot. Oh, y'all know I'm a science teacher. We stay inside. We don't go outside. How do the cells in an organism function? Say what? Oh, you don't know. Well, drafts. I really hoped you knew that one. Active reading. Number 5. Identify. As you read, underline, just the green pen, or whatever color pen you have. Mine's just happen to be green. Underline sources of energies of living things. So if something is telling you at the beginning for directions to underline something, that must mean there's going to be a question that you're going to have to refer back to. So if ever something says underline a specific part, underline it because you're going to have to come back to it later, okay? How do you get the energy to run around and play soccer or basketball? How does the tree get energy to grow? All living things, from the tiniest single-cell bacterium to the largest tree, need energy. Cells must capture and use energy or they will die. That's kind of sad. I think that's what happens to leaves, right? We agree? That's what happens to leaves in the fall. They just sort of start to die off and the trees are bare. That's what happens in the fall. See, so we learned something new. So I would underline that. So I'm going to take this, and it says, underline something, the source of energies. So it says, cells, I'm on, cells must capture and use energy or they will die. I know that sounds really dramatic, but I'm going to underline the very dramatic sign. Right there, very dramatic sentence. Underline it because of the drama. Cells get energy from food. Well, that's kind of plain, but I'm going to underline that one as well. Are you underlining as well? So, because I'm going to check your textbook, and you better have some marks in here at this point, okay? Okay, here we go. All right, cells get energy from food. It's not as dramatic as the first one, but hey. Some living things can make their own food. Many living things get their food by eating other living things. Like, for example, before y'all sit there going, Mrs. Henderson, that doesn't make any sense. What? Slugs, snails, different little bugs in the garden. If you ever look at grass, be honest, who looks at grass? Who looks at flowers? I know probably none of y'all. But if y'all have gardens or trees or anything in your yard, next time you're outside when it's not as cold as it has been, you'll see different bugs living in those plants, especially slugs. Slugs and snails love to eat a whole garden. They will just demolish a garden. Oh, it makes your teacher kind of mad. Oh no, I forgot my worms again. Anyways. Yes. So, now we're moving on to the next paragraph. Cells need energy. That's kind of confusing. Everything needs energy. Growing, moving, and other cell functions use energy. Oh, wait, should we underline that? I'm going to underline that first sentence. Very second paragraph, very first sentence. I'm going to underline it in green. There we go. Without energy, a living thing cannot replace cells, build body parts, or reproduce. Well, that's pretty interesting. I like that. I'm not going to underline it. Maybe I will. Maybe I won't. I haven't decided yet. Even when a living thing is not very active, it needs energy. What does that mean? Something's not very active. I guess, again, it would be grass, because grass sort of just sits there like this. So, grass. I'm green sometimes. Sometimes I'm not so green, because y'all forget to water me during, like, the heat waves. And then it gets cold. And then I'm like, bleh. But he still needs energy, right? Because he's grass. And he's alive. Cells constantly use energy to move materials into and out of the cell. They need energy to make different chemicals, and they need energy to get rid of waste. A cell could not survive for long if it did not have the energy for all of these functions. That's good to know. We're going to underline that very last sentence. All cells could not survive for very long if it did not have the energy to do all of these functions. All right, now I've moved on. Active reading. Number 6. Claims, evidence, and reasoning. Uh-oh, there's that CER you guys don't like it. I like it because I like to see you guys think. But you guys don't like it. All right. Make a claim about why living things need energy at all times. Support your claim with evidence and explain your reasoning. You know, you guys don't like to explain yourself sometimes. Sometimes you know, I get so mad about you. All right, so we're moved on. We're on the top of page 417. Top of page 417, big bright red letters. You're not anywhere lost. If you are, oh wait, you caught up? The cells of all living things need chemical energy. What does that mean? Do you know? Sounds kind of scary. Food contains chemical energy. Oh, like a sandwich. Yeah. Pop-Tarts. Chemical energy. Food gives living things the energy and raw materials materials needed to carry out life processes. When cells break down food, the energy of chemical bonds in the food is released. The energy can be used or stored by the cell. The atoms and the molecules in food can be used as building blocks for the cell. Living things get food in different ways. In fact, they can be grouped based on how they get their food. Some Some living things, such as plants and many single-celled organisms, are called producers. Wait, let's stop here. I have my green pen. I'm going to use my green pen. I know it says to do it only in that one section, but I want to underline that. Okay? Did you guys catch that? Some living things, such as plants and many single-celled organisms, are producers. We're going to need that information, I guarantee you. Producers can make their own food. Most producers use energy from the sun. I know it's not as exciting as dramatic, but I'm still going to underline it. Most producers use energy from the sun. They capture and store light energy from the sun as a chemical energy in food. A small number of producers, such as those that live in the deepest part of the ocean, use chemicals to make their own food. Producers use most of the food they produce for energy. The unused food is stored in their bodies. Does anybody know what that one's called? Are you sure? Is it fat? Muscle? We store that up. That's all our body fat. Many living things, such as people and other animals, are consumers. I'm going to underline that whole first sentence. Many living things, such as people and other animals, are consumers. Very good. Are we? You got it? Okay. Consumers must eat or consume other living things to get food. I'm going to underline that one too, because that seems kind of important. I'm going to underline that one too. I know it seems like I'm underlining a lot, but you trust me. You guys, trust me. Consumers may eat producers or other consumers. Okay, we know that. We've heard that like 9 times already, right? The whole book. The cells of consumers break down food to release the energy it contains. A special group of consumers is made up of, oh, that's a new word. Let's go ahead and underline that. Decomposers. I'm going to underline that whole sentence. A special group of consumers is made up of decomposers. Now we're getting into some fun stuff. Who has ever had the project where you take leftover veggie pills and dirt and leaves and some grass, and then you throw some earthworms inside? Compost? Doesn't that sound really familiar? It does. We'll get into that later too. Decomposers break down dead organisms or the waste of another. I wonder if we're going to get into that. We need to make a note on that word, because I don't think you guys exactly know what that word means. So off to the side of that page right here, that blank area, I want you to rewrite that word for me. I know you've underlined it, but I don't get mad too. Calm down. Okay? I see you. You're just going to rewrite the word decomposers. D-E-C-O-M-P-O-S-E-R-S. I'm just going to write the word, okay? All right. Decomposers break down dead organisms or waste of other organisms. Fungi or mini bacteria are decomposers. Who knows what fungi is? Oh, you don't? Funguses? Molds? No? Okay, fungi. And the fungi plants? Mushrooms. You know, little bottle cap mushrooms, the little white ones that you get at the store? And they have those really pretty shiitake mushrooms? That's what a fungi is. And they taste so good fried. I don't care who you are. It tastes delicious. All right. We're going to look down at the bottom of page 417, where it says, number 7, compare. Use the little Venn diagram below to describe how producers and consumers get their energy. So on this side, how do producers get their energy? On the other side, how do consumers get their energy? And the middle's already filled out for you, so that should be easy. So if you need to pause to write it out, go ahead and pause. I'm going to move on to page 418. Like I said, if you need to pause to fill that out, go ahead. Ooh, this is fun. Cooking with chloroplast. How do we cook with chloroplast? What? Okay. All right. Chloroplast. Cool. Sounds delicious. Blech. Like a bowl of green slime. That's full of something. Ugh. How do plants make their own food? Oh, we're not cooking chloroplast. Oh, I was scared. Nearly all life on Earth gets energy from the sun. Plants make food with energy from the sun. So plants use energy from the sun directly. All right, so that section right there, you're going to underline. Get your little pen. Got my green one. So plants use energy from the sun directly. That is going to be important for you to know. Animals use energy from the sun directly when they eat a plant or another animal. Oh, wait, what? Did you guys know that you have plants that will eat live things? Do you know what they're called? They kind of look like a little piranha plant. I'll give you points. I'll give you 2 points if you put it in your book. You write down the name of that plant. It's named after a certain planet. I'll give you that much. Or you can look up another one, because there's a place here in DeLand that sells meat-eating plants that can eat something as small as a hummingbird. These are carnivore plants. So if you write that in your book, I'll give you 2 extra points. All right, ready? We're moving on. In a process called photosynthesis, which is phonetically spelled out, which is really, really good. Photosynthesis. Okay, just in case some of you are having a little bit of an issue with trying to figure out how to exactly say it, that's how you say it. Plants use energy from sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water to make sugars. Plants capture light energy from the sun and change it into chemical energies and sugars. Ooh, that's a mouthful. I'm going to underline that one because that's a really big sentence, and I think it's important. So plants capture light energy from the sun and change it to chemical energy and sugars. Okay, go ahead and underline that. I'll continue reading. These sugars are made from water and carbon dioxide. In addition to sugars, photosynthesis also produces oxygen gas. Oxygen gas is given off into the air. Who knew? I did. Did you know? You know now. Isn't that pretty cool? Without trees, there wouldn't be oxygen, is what it's saying. So if we took all of the trees off the planet, we wouldn't breathe. It would be very hard. Ugh. So you're going to look over and it says active reading. It says number 8. Identify what source of energy for nearly all life on Earth. It's just one word. This is the time you're allowed to do one word. Identify the source of energy for nearly all life on Earth. You got that written down? Good job. Now we're going to visualize it. Photosynthesis in many plants. Photosynthesis takes place inside a leaf. See, we were talking about this a second ago. All the leaves are turning brown. Yeah, y'all know that little TikTok song. I know y'all watching it. Chlorophyll, which is located in chloroplast, captures light energy from the sun. This light energy is converted into a chemical energy and sugars. So it has little pictures of the cells, the plant cells, the chloroplast. Oh, and then we have this other little thing over here. Oh, hey, look, smell the stack of green pancakes. Oh, I'm so excited. All right, capturing light energy. Everybody with me? You should be over now on page 419. Okay, 419. You there? All right. Energy from sunlight powers produce. Let me start over with that sentence. Energy from sunlight powers the process of photosynthesis. The light energy is converted to chemical energy, which is stored in the bonds of the sugar molecules made during photosynthesis. That is a run-on sentence, y'all. Photosynthesis takes place in organelles called chloroplasts. We're going to underline that because that's important. Photosynthesis takes place in organelles called chloroplasts. And I also, what I'm doing too, where it's phonetically sounded out for you, I'm underlining that as well. Only because. These organelles are found only in the cells of plants and other organisms that undergo photosynthesis. They are not found in animals or fungi cells. Chloroplasts contain a green pigment called chlorophyll. Chlorophyll captures energy from the sun. Now, I don't need you to underline that because we got that already. This energy is used to combine carbon dioxide, which is CO2, and water, which is H2O, forming sugar glucose, which is a big one, C6H12O6. Get that? That's glucose. So I'm going to take my pen, I'm going to underline glucose, and I'm going to underline its chemical formula. Doopy, doopy, doopy. And oxygen, which is O2. And I think a bunch of you are forgetting what oxygen is. So I'm going to underline oxygen, the word oxygen, and I'm going to underline O2. So I remember that it's O2. Okay? Photosynthesis is a series of reactions summarized by the following equation. Now, like I said, we don't need to underline this one because we've seen this before. What is it? Very good. All right, we're going to look at our little chloroplast, our light energy. So water is going into our little pancake stack. Carbon dioxide is going into our little pancake stack. It's all going inside there. What is coming out? What is coming out is sugar and oxygen. So it's going in and coming out, going in and coming out. That's what you think of it. Think of it that way. Going in and coming out, going in and think of it like a door. Going in and coming out. Like you guys come through the classroom door, you're going in, you're going out. You're coming in, you're going out. All right, or your mom's front door when you guys, I'm going to my friend's house. You coming in and out all the time? I see you. All right, I'm on number 9 where it says claims, evidence, and reasoning. I know, Miss Henderson, how can you do this to us? Claims, evidence, and reasoning. Make a claim about how water and carbon dioxide used for photosynthesis gets to the plant's leaves. Provide evidence to support your claim. Explain your reasoning. Okay? I know there's a little space, so if you need to do it like on a bigger piece of paper, that's perfectly fine too. Okay? So if you need to pause, take your time to do that, go ahead. All right, I'm on the bottom of the page. I'm under storing chemical energy. Glucose is a sugar that stores chemical energy. Did we know that? Was that new information? Yes, that is. We are going to use our handy dandy pen, and we are going to underline glucose is a sugar that stores chemical energy. Now we know new things. It is the food that plants make. Plant cells break down glucose for energy. Excess sugars are stored in the body of the plant. They are often stored as starch in the roots and the stem of the plant. When another organism eats this plant, the organism can use these stored sugars for energy. So has anybody ever heard that rice is really starchy or a potato is really starchy? That's where it sits. If you have a potato at home, only ask your mom or your dad or your guardian or whoever is looking after you, anybody over the age of 21, okay? Ask them to cut up, if you have a potato, cut it open and take the 2 pieces of potato and you're going to rub them together like that. And then you're going to look at one end and take your finger and wipe that white stuff. That's all starch. Starch is good for lots of things. Okay? Did you do that? That's a fun little project you can do at home with your parent guardian. So I want you guys to have fun with this. I don't want you to be like, she's so boring. Okay. Now I've turned the page to 420. 420. All right? Mighty mitochondria. How do cells get energy from food? When sugar is broken down, energy is released. Okay, we knew that. We got that. It is stored in a molecule called ATP. Again, I'll give you points if you know how to say that. ATP powers many of the chemical reactions that enable cells to survive. That sounds very familiar, like we read that already. So we don't need to underline that because we've already underlined that, right? The process of breaking down food to produce ATP is called, that's right, cellular respiration. Okay, and again, it has the whole breakdown of how to properly pronounce it. But I'm looking at the little picture of the cute little koala, which, by the way, he's not a bear. Okay, Mr. Koala. Mitochondria are found in both plant cells and animal cells. So just about all living things. Okay? Using oxygen, cellular respiration takes place in, do you know that word? Cytoplasm? That's a new word. Do you guys know that word? Who knows that word? Besides me. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our trusty pen and underline only that word because we haven't seen it yet. I know, I'm giving you new vocab. I'm sorry, but you got to learn this stuff. So you're going to take your pen and you're going to underline it. Cytoplasm. And cell membranes of, oh Lord, there's another word we don't know. Prokaryotic. Like, I know what prokaryotic is. Do you? No? Okay, well, we're going to underline that word right now. Prokaryotic. Oh, no, there comes another word. So we're going to have several words we're going to have to underline. In eukaryotic cells, oh, what does that word mean? We're going to look these words up in a second. Eukaryotic. Underline it in your trusty pen. So you should have how many words? 3. Okay. Cellular respiration takes place in organelles called mitochondria. Now we know what she is. Singular mitochondrion. Mitochondrion are found in both plant and animal cells. The starting materials of cellular respiration are glucose and oxygen. Ooh, it's different. It's the reverse, right? Remember the door, coming in, going out, coming in, going out? So we're going to do that again. We're just going to jump to a different cell. In eukaryotics, the first stage of cellular respiration takes place in, that's right, cytoplasm. Glucose is broken down into 3 carbon molecules. Let's underline that. Let's go. Glucose is broken down into 3 carbon molecules. I have a hole. There you go. This releases a small amount of energy. The next stage takes place in the mitochondria. This stage requires oxygen. Okay, we know that. Oxygen enters the cells and travels into, okay, I'm going to underline that. Oxygen enters into the cell and travels into the mitochondria. As the 3 carbon molecules are broken down, energy is captured and stored in ATP. You got that? Okay. Now we're going to look at active reading. Number 10. Identify. Oh, we did that already. We already identified. We've been underlining. We didn't stop. Nope. We're going to skip on down because we already did that. Visualize it. Cellular respiration. Okay, we're going to look at our little mitochondria. And remember, it's a door. Coming in, going out. Coming in, going out. So we're going to look it down as the sugars and energies are being Very good. All right, so you have oxygen going in, sugar from photosynthesis. The 3 carbon molecules are all going inside. What's popping out? That's right, chemical energy, or ATP. You have water and you have carbon dioxide. So he's just moving like the other, like the chloroplast, is just moving right along. And this is something that never stops. They never take a break. These guys are working 24/7 every single day. They don't stop all of the time. They don't get a Christmas vacation. I'm pretty sure they'd like one. All right. Now I'm on the top of page 421, where it says, realizing energy. The parts of cellular respiration are chemical energies, which is ATP, carbon dioxide, and water. The carbon dioxide formed during cellular respiration is released by the cell. In many animals, carbon dioxide is carried to the lungs and inhaled during breathing. Some of the energy produced during cellular respiration is released as heat. However, much of the energy during cellular respiration is transferred to ATP. ATP can be carried throughout the body. When ATP is broken down, the energy is released and is used for cellular activities. Do you think they're like going shopping, that kind of activities? What do you mean no? We like going shopping? Come on now. We could think, imagination. The steps for cellular respiration can be summarized by the following equation. C6, H12, O6 plus 6O2 makes or equals 6CO2 plus 6H2O plus ATP, or chemical energy. All right, like I said, it is going in and out. Now we're going to look up here on this little top box. It's a little green box. Do you see the green box? Yes, you do. Don't lie. It's right there on the top. Think outside the book. Oh, 11. Identify. It says with a partner, but you can do it with parent guardian. Yeah, you can do it with your parent guardian. Why not? You need to, invite them over. Be like, come here. I need your help. My teacher who's on the screen said I need your help. Come here. Hi, parents. Hi. Okay, with a partner, write a creative story or play. Just write a story. Don't worry about the play part. That describes the process of cellular respiration. So the information on these 2 pages, I want you to write me a short little story. Name your plants, name them, full-on short story, no more than 7 sentences long. Okay? You're going to do that on a separate piece of paper. All right. Now I'm moving down. Like I said, at any time when you need to pause, when you get to that part, go ahead, pause, take your time, write that out, get that done. Okay. So you need to do that. Pause. Good. All right, now we're starting back up on number 12. Number 12 says summarize. Based on the figure, describe the path of the carbon atom shown in green. Where's the carbon atom? Oh, I see him. I see him again. Through the processes of cellular respiration. So you're going to take that little short snippet. You're going to tell me these little green things. What happens? Okay. All right. Now I'm on page 422. 422. All right. It says merry-go-round. How are photosynthesis and cellular respiration connected? I don't know. Do you? Well, I know, but you don't know, but I know. At this point, you should know. You should know all about the plants. You should be able to go out there and make a whole garden. Like, I would be happy. Most of the oxygen in the atmosphere was made during photosynthesis. What? I'm going to take my pen and I am going to, what? Yeah, you're going to underline it. Very good. Most of the oxygen in the atmosphere was made during photosynthesis. Nearly all organisms use this oxygen during cellular respiration. They produce carbon dioxide and release it into the environment. In turn, plants use the carbon dioxide to make sugars. We know that because we just learned that. So photosynthesis and respiration are linked. each depending on the products of each other. Like I said, so if you look at chloroplasts and you look at mitochondria, it's flipped. It's the same chemical formula, just backwards. It's the same chemical formula, just backwards. So if you're looking at the chemical formula of mitochondria and you can't remember what chloroplast is, just flip it. Okay? Then you got it. All right, now we're going to look over here at number 13 where it says visualize it. It says synthesize. We know what that means. Yes, we do. Fill in the missing labels and draw the missing molecules. All right, so you guys can do that on your own. So you look at A, it says energy. And then it says B, I don't know what that is. And then C is energy again. Oh, I figured out what they are. Hold on. And then D, and don't be like you have a teacher's manual because no, I do not. I use my visual skills. And then I see the two, one says carbon dioxide and one says oxygen. So what are those two little things that you're supposed to doodle in there? All right, so pause the video right now. Do it, stop. Okay, good. You paused? Perfect. All right, so if you unpaused, it means you're ready to move on to number 14. That's 14. All right, so I'm looking down at the bottom of page 422, and I'm looking at 14 where it says claims, evidence, and reasoning. I know, CERs, you guys don't like doing those. I don't know why. They're one of the easiest ones, but you guys. All right, make a claim about the relationship between the starting materials and the products of cellular respiration and photosynthesis. Summarize evidence to support your claim and explain your reasoning. So again, you're going to pause, and that's what you're going to do. All right. Let me take a snippet. Are we close to almost being done? Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Because I had you guys stop at that graph. All right, we are almost done. We only have 3 pages left. Okay. So I am now that you're unpaused and you've done number 14 on page 422, you should be with me on the top of page 423. 423. Okay? Why it matters. Almost everything matters. You're matter. I matter. You matter. I matter, I think. All right. Oh, weird science. I love weird science. Who doesn't love weird science? You? Why don't you like weird science? You should like more weird science. Come on now, get with the rest of the program. Out of air. When there isn't enough oxygen, living things can get energy by, oh, we learned about this on the video. Anaerobic, words are hard. Anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic. Okay? Respiration. Which means without oxygen. So I'm going to underline that sentence. Anaerobic means without oxygen, because I'm pretty sure we're going to need to know what that means, right? You guys should already know what that means because of PE. Did they teach you this in PE? No? Why? They taught us. Oh, these PE coaches nowadays, they just want to run in circles. Like cellular respiration, anaerobic respiration produces ATP. However, it does not produce as much ATP as cellular respiration. Okay. So I'm going to look over here. Feel the burn. You got me? Yeah? Okay, good. The body uses anaerobic respiration during hard exercises such as sprinting. Anybody see anybody sprint? You have? You watched sports? You sprinted, you stopped, you sprinted from here to there, and then all of a sudden you're, well, we're fixing to find out why we're going, Plants don't do that. They just get to sit there like, I'm a plant. Sup? Nope. I'm just enjoying the sun till it goes down. Yep, because I'm a plant. All right. The body uses anaerobic respiration during hard exercises such as sprinting. This produces lactic acid. Now, we learned about that one too, which can cause the muscles to ache after that. I'm going to circle that whole section. This produces lactic acid. I'm going to circle all of that. From this produces all the way down to after exercise. Just circle it. Don't even underline it. Just circle it at this point. All right, you got that? All right, good. Rising to the top. Fermentation. Why do we need to learn about fermentation? Is that important? Yes, it is. Fermentation is very important, or you can't have bread. Certain other things. We're going to figure out why. Fermentation is a type of, oh look, it is a type of anaerobic. I am not talking right today. It's a type of anaerobic, oh my goodness, my kids. Respiration. Many yeasts rely on fermentation for energy. Carbon dioxide is the product of fermentation. Carbon dioxide causes the bread to rise and gives it off air pockets. Has anybody ever made homemade bread? Hello? I hope so. Anybody ever like see bread and you have those little holes in them, the little tiny baby molecule? Like, what are those little? Why do those little holes are there? Well, that's why. It's the carbon dioxide inside making the bubbles go all blah. If you want to cook, and you want to cook really good, you got to know science and chemistry, or you're not going to be able to do it. Facts. All right, let's see. What do we have down here under I extend? Woo! You guys can do those three. That's pretty easy. Number 15 says compare. What products do both cellular and anaerobic respiration have in common? You can answer that? Yeah? Put that in there. You don't have to do it on another piece of paper. It's not going to fit in the book. You got it? Okay, good. Now, you want to pause me? Okay, perfect. Number 16, it says research. Blood delivers oxygen to the body. Yeah, duh. Okay. If this is the case, why does the body rely on... Why does the body rely on this? I can't get it together. Anaerobic respiration during hard exercise. Research the reason why the body switches between cellular and anaerobic and cellular. Now I can't say that word right. Sheesh. So, yes. I'm sorry. Did you say, can I use Google? Yes, you can. Yes, the answer is yes. Yes, you may use Google in 3 sentences for that. Okay? Number 16 under research, give me 3 sentences. Okay? You're welcome. You'll be sassy. All right, number 17. Claims, evidence, and reasoning. Research and compare, again, Google, or your book. If you can find it right there in this chapter, which you can, do so. Okay? Research and compare cellular respiration and fermentation. Oh, there we go. Compare the two. I like that. Make a claim about how they are similar and how they're different. Summarize the evidence to support your claim and explain your reasoning by giving one of the following. Make a poster, draw a comic strip, write a brochure, make a table. Okay, so you have 4 little options down there. Doesn't have to be big. Like when I say poster, I don't mean like, okay, just like a wanted poster, just something you could stick on the wall. Okay, now I know I think I said, oh, whoop, you have 2 more pages. 424 and 425. All right, so I'm going to make one more video going over these last 2 and then giving you a summary of what else we're going to do, okay?